just unloaded everything. And I felt my heart.
I just got out of the shower. I just dried myself off. I look up, my God, the third floor's on fire.
It was loud, angry, and downright dangerous.
And then it'd roar again.
The sheriff says it pretty much nailed this shed.
We believe a tornado touched down. We had a couple of people that actually seen it. We said it was pretty good size and it was only down on the ground for a little bit.
However long it lasted, it was long enough to send John Deere running for his dear life.
It looks like it touched down right on top of it.
We are peaceful!
We are peaceful! Home streets! Our streets! Home streets! Our streets! It's bring it back!
You're busy. I'm busy. We're all busy. But what if, for just a second, we could all stop,
Thank you.
and say, thanks. You guys want to show Mom some love on Mother's Day?
Thank you for always being there and sacrificing everything.
Thank you, Mommy.
Remember when we were this little?
Mom, thank you for giving me all your love. I love you, Mom.
I think about it a lot, that like time heals all wounds.
All wounds, all of them, or so we're led to believe. But for Amanda Teeves,
That's couldn't be more of a lie.
Amanda calls it a journey,
My heart aches missing him constantly.
a conversation,
I talk to him out loud all the time.
In the game of golf, there it isn't. Patience is less virtue than it is skill.
Did you see how it's still going left?
Some would argue it's the most important part of any golf swing.
Did the rocket take off?
No.
I think like the rocket is either in like that area of buildings over there.
There it is, there it goes.
That is so cool.
That was the most wicked crime scene that I've ever seen.
They even came up with a game plan of how to get out of the house in case of a situation occurred similar to this. She was afraid.
the immediate suspect, a strange husband, Chris Wells. At the time of the murders, Wells was in jail for violating a protection order.
But I want to know who did this, and I think you can help me. I don't have any idea. Why would I have any idea?
This man served his country, he served his community. For the community to gather today to pay their final respects to himself, it's important to be here. Hey, leg up. Good job, Scout.
I'm a Flight for Life pilot. He died in the crash. His body is coming. We're honoring his life.
He is with his mom and dad, and his soul is at peace.
Freeze it! Oh!
Patrick Mahaney, Lifeguard 2. This is Comm Center. Patrick Mahaney, you may stand down. End of watch.
The Denver Crime Lab tested his gun, just like they do in every case.
Any firearms, we'll test fire them to generate samples.
He asked me what happened to my car because the doors were open.
My husband called me and said, "You're not going to believe this, but I think our car is totaled."
Looked like it had been vandalized, and indeed it was, by apparently a bear and her two cubs. And it looks like claw marks to me. That was the top of my center console. I don't know what they were going after, but there was something that they liked. They took a swipe at that as well.
I'm shocked. I didn't imagine that wildlife would have or could have done this.
The door doesn't really stay open, and so it locked them in. And that's when they really got frantic. The headliner is all torn down. You can see that they were scratching to get out.
Oh my, what's that?
Yeah, well, that's from the dash.
The question is, what happened inside this apartment at 17th and Franklin?
They need to be investigated to the fullest. Go get my other grandkids. You can bring them to my house, keep them wherever they need to be, but they don't need to be here or where they at now.
What happened that caused someone to drive Javion to St. Joseph Hospital with serious injuries, where he later died? Lampley questions the care given by his daughter's boyfriend.
I think they kind of get a bad rap, you know. They're just
I guess the whole butt of the joke is, they can be cautious.
Rudders ready, burros ready, go!
It's been fun to see how it's going to start off.
Let's hear it for the runners!
It's interesting. Sometimes it works out like it's supposed to, and sometimes it doesn't.
All right, come on, Apache. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Every day,
This is ridiculous.
life gets a little harder.
I'm tired of just sitting. Broke my wrist, tore my leg up.
3 weeks ago, their dog pulled Nell down while going after a chicken, killing it.
He said, "We've got to get you to the emergency room." I said, "Not before you dress out the chicken. I'm not going to waste that meat."
Not gonna waste good chicken.
And then we went to the emergency room.
I'm not going to admit it on this, but yeah, she's the boss. Don't tell her I said that, though.
I have a bilateral mastectomy with reconstruction. Even though my scars have faded, it's still the first thing I see when I look in the mirror.
We got one cat down.
All right. I'm going to get some beautiful artwork to cover my mastectomy scars. Got a numb spot there.
We are transforming their lives through art.
Now, today, I can take that back. I can take control back. I can celebrate my body in a way that I choose, that's personal and meaningful to me.
Yep.
Okay, sorry, that was
That's okay.
that was a tough one. Tattooing isn't a pleasant experience. It's very painful. It's toe curling time.
For real. Almost there, baby.
Big dreams don't happen alone. Long before they come to fruition, we share them with those we love and trust.
He told me he loved me and that I was his best friend. And he said, "Thank you for being my guardian when I needed it and being my mom when I needed to be set straight."
Taylor was the boy who stole his mother's heart.
That captivating smile that he had, that mischievous little smirk he has, that was him. He would light up a room. He'd walk in and not know anybody, and all of a sudden everybody was drawn to him.
Drawn to big ideas, Taylor made his list as a teenager. Number 1, join the Army. Mom resisted at first.
And I just said, go forward. Be this protector. I know you're going to succeed.
Goal met. Number 13, get a job. Taylor chose Colorado State Trooper.
He put his mind to it, and nothing was going to stop him. And he was going to be the top. He was going to be the best of the best.
Speeds are 100 miles per hour.
On May 23rd, Taylor was almost at the end of his cadet training.
See if I can get him to come through the intersection.
And was on a ride-along with Trooper Clinton Rushing.
Taylor had texted me that day at 7:30 and said, I'm at an accident at Highway 1 and Highway 66.
Just passing County Road 7.
Warned of a chase coming their way, the cadet and trooper deployed stop sticks. The driver didn't stop. Both men were hit.
At that time, I screamed. I just screamed, no. Not him. Please, not him.
Taylor died at the scene. Trooper Rushing was critically hurt. A tow truck driver also there wasn't hurt. He said Taylor shouted at him to get out of the way.
He died a hero. He saved a man's life so he can go home to his little ones.
Save a life. Goal number 9 achieved. Just not how his mom expected.
When I found out exact details of how it happened, I went into his room and repeatedly said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the way you went. I'm sorry it was so violent. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry that I couldn't protect you from it.
There were so many more goals, many only the two of them knew about.
Looking through his phone, I was the one that he inadvertently spoke to last.
Their conversation wasn't supposed to end. Carol tried to keep it going.
I would text him just to keep in touch with him.
I got a few real short ones. I love you, I miss you, that type of stuff, and I just ignored them.
One night in particular, just having a really bad night, just telling him I love you and I miss you and please come see me.
And then I got a very heartfelt one.
That's when she got a response.
He said, I'm a sergeant with the Greeley Police. And I told him who I was.
And then it was like the breath got sucked out of me because the reply was about Taylor and about the accident.
Sergeant Cal Halsey had a new phone with a new number. Turns out it was Taylor's old number. He offered to change the number. Carol asked him not to. After all, he was doing what Taylor wanted to do.
He never got to experience all the great things of this job. I have got to do that, and I think it's good for me to remember all the great things that, all the wonderful things he was looking forward to.
Everything he dreamed of, too, 33 years ago, as a new officer.
It's like I always have a little angel in my pocket now.
And so the conversation didn't end. And while Taylor never got the chance to reach many of his goals, as fate would have it, he did find a way to accomplish number 22.
He's still trying to make a difference.
I never want them to forget Taylor Tifo.
And so the list goes on.